Coming up on UMTV News, President Trump has issued a life-threatening warning and an ultimatum for Iran.
Plus, one U.S. military member in Iran is safe after a 50-hour search mission.
And later on, new images from the historic Artemis II mission as the crew makes its way back.
All these stories and more on UMTV News, and it starts right now. I'm Wrigley Court.
And I'm Jimena Hidalgo. A potential 45-day ceasefire is on the table as the U.S.-Israeli war with Iran continues. This comes as President Trump is threatening to dramatically escalate the conflict, and as one U.S. service member was rescued in Iran after his F-15 was shot down. President Donald Trump calling a proposal for a 45-day ceasefire with Iran, quote, significant, though he has not signed off on it.
We're doing unbelievably well, well at a level that nobody's ever seen before. The entire country can be taken out in one night, and that night might be tomorrow night.
Trump on Easter Sunday made an expletive-laden threat to strike Iranian power plants and bridges if the Strait of Hormuz remains closed. Iran has rejected the ceasefire deal proposed by other countries, saying negotiation in no way involves an ultimatum, a crime, or a threat to commit war crimes.
Iran wants to hold on to its high-value cards. Number one, Strait of Hormuz closure, and number two, almost 1,000 pounds of enriched uranium.
Israel says it struck key petrochemical complexes in Iran.
Now, both facilities, which together account for roughly 85% of Iran's petrochemical exports, have been disabled and are not operational.
Meanwhile, we are learning that both U.S. airmen whose F-15 was down Friday over Iran are doing well and recovering from their injuries following the crash, according to Trump. One crew member was rescued shortly after. The second was rescued days later in a high-stakes operation.
Engaged the enemy, rescued the stranded officer, destroyed all threats, and exited Iranian territory while taking no casualties of any kind.
Now, fewer than 4 hours until President Trump's deadline, we will all be watching into the evening for updates.
We now have new details of the heroic rescue of the American airman previously stranded in enemy territory in Iran. After 50 hours in enemy territory, U.S. Special Forces, in coordination with CENTCOM, rescued him from the mountains of Iran. He was forced to eject from his F-15 fighter jet when it was hit by Iranian forces this past Friday. To add to the intensity, the Iranian government had put a bounty on the American's life, forcing him to evade enemy capture while attempting to coordinate with his rescuers.
Despite incoming fire and unforgiving conditions, our troops brought every American home. No American lives were lost. We leave no man behind, and that is not luck.
Another airman on the same F-15 was rescued immediately. Neither name has yet been released.
An American journalist has been released after being kidnapped in Iraq last week. An Iran-backed militia says it will free Shelley Kittleson on the condition she leaves the country immediately. Kittleson is a freelance reporter and was abducted at Baghdad on March 31st. The Iran-backed militia Hezbollah claimed the responsibility for the kidnapping and announced plans to release her today. Iraqi officials say security forces chased the suspects after the abduction, arresting at least one person. Officials also say Kittleson has now been released, but her exact location remains unclear.
One of the founding members of the hip-hop group Migos is in a Florida hospital. A representative for rapper Offset says someone shot the singer in Hollywood, Florida on Monday. TMZ reported he was shot near the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. The 34-year-old Offset, whose real name is Kiari Cephas, is reportedly in stable condition. The circumstances surrounding the shooting are under investigation. The Seminole Police Department says officers have detained 2 people. Rapper Offset's career took off within the past decade. He was part of a trio of rappers including Quavo and Takeoff. Takeoff was shot and killed in Houston in 2022.
April is Earth Month, and amid Miami's constant urban development, dozens of volunteers are doing their part to create a greener Miami.
Brian Matute joins us live to tell us how one South Florida organization is cultivating these green areas in a unique place. Brian?
The Miami Underland is a 10-mile park below the Miami Metro. This weekend they hosted their Day in the Dirt event, which brought out volunteers to help cultivate a garden amidst urbanization. Miami is known for its cityscape and high-rise buildings, but just down below the Miami Metro Rail, a different kind of growth is taking root. Dozens of volunteers participated in the Day in the Dirt event on April 4th to help turn the Underline into a 10-mile urban green space in a rapidly growing city.
I came out here because I just love plants.
Miami resident Quinn Gorilli is a plant lover that rides the metro every day. So, when she found out there's a garden right below her daily commute, she didn't hesitate to get her hands dirty.
So I've been doing Day in the Dirt for, I'd say, the past 3 years.
With Miami quickly becoming more and more of a concrete jungle, initiatives like this are showing that the key to Miami's future may not be pouring concrete, it may be planting seeds.
It's really about connecting. It's connecting neighborhoods, connecting people to transit, connecting people to each other, connecting people to nature.
The project, supported by public and private funding, has already planted more than 500,000 plants in just 5 years. These plants help clean the air, cool the area, and support the local ecosystem.
Like they help us get air, even trees. It's because plants grow into trees.
But not everyone sees it the same way. As development continues around the Underline, some worry about what might come next.
Every building that goes up is great. It has development that's needed, it has housing that's needed, especially when it's adjacent to transit. But at the same time, we want to ensure that we are creating green spaces that people enjoy.
It's a tension playing out across Miami. How to grow without leaving people behind. For Quinn, the answer starts here, one plant at a time.
It's really important to conserve this wildlife because Florida, Miami, this is a very unique ecosystem that you really don't find anywhere else.
Volunteers like Quinn are focused on what they can control, planting the seeds they hope will blossom into a greener future for Miami. Although the Underline's plans provide numerous benefits to the ecosystem, detractors say the space would be better used for things like a parking lot in order to fight overcrowding in Miami. Live from Coral Gables, Brian Matute, UMTV.
Thank you, Brian. Coming up on UMTV News, we will share unique photos taken by the crew of the historic Artemis II mission. Plus, we will introduce you to a recent tennis national champion who left her pro career behind to give back to the U. All this and more when we return. Don't go anywhere.
Nearly a week after leaving Earth, the 4 astronauts on the Artemis II mission are rewriting the history of space travel. Yesterday, the vessel reached its furthest point, circling around the moon. During that time, they lost communication with mission control for 40 minutes. But when they came out the other side, they emerged having made history.
Today you've made history and made all America really proud, incredibly proud. We have a lot of things to be proud of lately, but this is there's nothing like what you're doing, circling around the moon for the first time in more than a half a century and breaking the all-time record for the farthest distance from planet Earth.
NASA released photos taken during the ship's flyby, including new shots of the Earth as well as rare images of the dark side of the moon. The vessel is now headed back toward Earth and expected to land off the coast of California on Friday evening.
One of the most elite tennis players Miami has ever seen has taken on a new role with the same Hurricane squad.
Carter Lutz is live on campus with a story about the Hurricanes legend. Carter?
Tennis has always been a massive part of Alexa Noel's life, but when she had the chance to turn the page on her playing career, she made a decision to bring herself back here, to Miami, with hope on the horizon. On the court, not much has changed for Alexa Noel. She's still here every day, just in a different role. The former 4-time All-American and the 2024 NCAA singles champion reached the top of the college game, but what came next was unclear.
I came to a crossroads after winning NCAAs to having a wild card at the U.S. Open. Do I take the money? Do I not take the money? And I took it, but I still wanted to play college tennis. And I think during that time, I realized that pro tennis was not the route I wanted to go down at the moment.
A trip to the U.S. Open forced a decision: leave college tennis behind or apply for re-eligibility through the NCAA, a long process that grants athletes another year to play athletics, something very common in the new era of name, image, and likeness.
As the years went on, I started to value education more. I think getting my degree was super important to me. The crossroads was what led me to deciding to come back to school, to start my master's, to see tennis in a different light.
She did get that chance, returning to Miami to finish her playing career and leading to a step in a new direction with the same program, this time as an assistant coach.
She's been through all of this, so she can share it all, share maybe some of her struggles, her doubts, and how she overcame it, and how she can be successful, and share her story, and share how to do certain things. She's been there.
If this is something you don't want to do, don't do it. Don't put other people's opinions before your own. It's not worth it. And the only thing that really matters is what makes you happy and what makes you want to get up every day and put your all into whatever you choose to do.
A different path, but one that brought her right back to the U. The Hurricanes women's tennis team currently holds a record of 13-4 and will look to build on that with the ACC Conference Tournament coming up next week. And of course, Alexa will be on for the ride. Reporting in Coral Gables, Carter Lutz, UMTV.
Thanks, Carter. Monday morning's newscast of the Today Show felt familiar again, with co-host Savannah Guthrie back at the desk. This marked Guthrie's first day back on the air since her mother, Nancy Guthrie, was reported missing nearly 2 months ago in Arizona. An extensive search is still underway, with no major updates in the case.
As millions of people celebrated Easter this past weekend, the city of Coral Gables made sure that everyone could participate in the holidays festivities. On Saturday, the city hosted a sensory-friendly egg hunt at Ruth Bryan Owen Waterway Park, giving kids the chance to play in a safe, stress-free environment.
And doing something like this is better for them, it's better for us, actually, because they try to keep just 1 hour per day in the phone. Anytime that you have something like this, is less time that you need to fight with them to go to the phone or to Twitter, whatever, It's better for us.
The event is part of the city's Accessible and Inclusive Recreation Program, or AIR, which hosts events year-round for people of all ages. Events like this one bring families together while helping foster a more inclusive environment.
And finally, some other exciting news. California's famous bald eagle pair, Jackie and Shadow, have welcomed 2 eaglets. On Easter Sunday, Big Bear Valley's bald eagle's eggs hatched. Fans of the San Bernardino's favorite flyers gathered at the park to catch the first glimpses of the new family. Per tradition, the eaglets will be named by local 3rd graders, but for now, they're Chick 1 and Chick 2. The eaglets are expected to fledge in early July.
You know, Jimena, Chick 2 was my name before they settled on Wrigley.
Oh, really? Wow. Well, thank God for that. Anyway.
It's a bit of an upgrade.
That is all the time we have for today.
UMTV News will be back next week. Have a great night, everyone.
I thought